Give them nothing, but take from them everything.
Hello and welcome back to the Metal Hand of God podcast. That's right, the Metal Hand of God podcast. I am your host, Wayne, and this lovely gentleman who is sitting one-legged thinking about manslaughter is...
The Rum Guy.
That's right,
What is that intro?
I don't know. I couldn't even think of anything good. I was thinking of you stealing that poor guy's prosthetic leg that one time.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That was funny.
And, I was going to like, give me back my leg! But no, I couldn't think about that anymore. But anyway,
good time.
I don't know what the manslaughter charge was for, but I just know.
I got off that. That's okay.
But
we do have a guest with us.
I'm sorry. Yes, we do. You want to announce him since I fucked up his name?
No, I want to hear you try to do it.
Fuck off. Joining us is Mr. Ben Robert.
Hey, what's going on, guys?
That was close.
Hey, it was okay. You still kind of screwed it up, but
I did.
Robert.
I know it's Robert, man.
Robert.
I know it's Robert. I know. Ben, tell everybody who you are and what you're here to talk about.
All right. Well, I am Ben Robert, as you mentioned, and I am the director and promoter for St. Tammany Collectors Convention.
That's cool.
Yes.
It's okay. You have a lot of conventions. I'm not from Louisiana, so I know you guys have a lot of conventions down there. And I know you said it's a collector's convention. Anything particular collecting, or what type of collecting?
Yeah, well, the main focus is toys and comics. We do have, a few album and record vendors. We have some video game vendors, specifically vintage video games like Nintendo and Super Nintendo, stuff like that.
My people.
And yeah, we've had vendors come in with all kinds of different stuff, but the vast majority is going to be toys and comics.
Now, how did you how did you get this thing going? Did you start this, or did you just take it from somebody else and run with it, or how did that work?
No, me and my wife we're both collectors, and we're actually the ones that did start it here in Covington. And it kind of started with, we had a bunch of doubles and just junk laying around that have come in with other stuff that we collect, and we were looking for a way to kind of get rid of it. And we dabbled a little bit selling online, eBay, Facebook, stuff like that. Sure. And we vended at a show in Metairie. It's actually a sports card show, and so that's kind of how we got started. Oh,
very cool.
Yeah.
Wayne, have you been to this one yet?
I have not. This will be my first year going, because every time it pops up, we're like, me and Caitlin are like, all right, we're gonna go, we're excited, we're gonna go, and then something else comes up where I have to work or some other bullshit gets thrown in our way.
Sure.
But so this time we actually get to go, so it's gonna be really cool.
So toys primarily, you said, is that what you and your wife primarily collected?
Well, we collect both toys and comics. I'm a G.I. Joe collector. That's kind of where it all started.
Okay.
My wife bought me a G.I. Joe, and all of a sudden I went back to, being a kid, and I started collecting G.I. Joes again. And then somebody actually gave her a Spider-Man comic book, and she loved it, and then we started buying comics, and that's how we got into that. And then she grew up with Star Wars. She lost all her stuff in Katrina, so when we were dating, that was one of her gifts was a Star Wars, I think it was Ewok Village, actually.
Oh, nice.
And that kind of cascaded from there. So
I have pieces of one somewhere in my storage.
We have lots of pieces to a lot now. So.
Yeah, I was about to say I have so much like part lots in my storage. I have a U.S. flag in my storage that is like parted.
Very nice.
I don't know if it's all the parts, but I know there's a fuck ton of them. And I'm like sitting there going, what the fuck am I gonna do with this thing? It's so big.
I actually have 2 flags here at the house.
Wow, dude, that's awesome.
Yeah.
A friend of ours, Tim. I don't know if you know Tim Lottie. Are you familiar with him?
I've spoken to him a couple times, and yeah, I am familiar with him. Haven't gotten a chance to sit down and talk with him.
He actually owns a flag, and he always sends me pictures of it because he has it like decked out. He converted the flag with like lights and all kind of stuff on it, so he like has like the disco flag. It's
nice.
It's incredible. It's awesome. He's missing a few pieces, he said, but he said it's whatever. It's his. He doesn't care.
Most people are missing a few pieces. That thing comes with a ton of stuff.
Yeah, it's massive. I mean, it's utterly ridiculous. And
Yeah.
the other one was the space station, which
Yeah, the Defiant.
yes. Oh,
Yep.
I love that thing. I had a friend in grade school who owned it, and I'll never forget that because I was always over there going, "You have this." You know, this is the most expensive toy ever.
Yeah, at the time it was.
You know,
It's amazing all that stuff that we grew up with but do you see things out now that you go to the store and you look at and going, that won't be collectible? Are toys as good as they were then?
no.
Yeah, I think that's a pretty popular debate. Most people would tell you no, but I mean, if you look at some of the stuff like the Marvel Legends figures and the Black Series, I mean, the detail they can put on some of that stuff is pretty incredible.
But isn't that when you're talking like Marvel and stuff like that? That's still those are characters that we grew up with. What about?
Hello.
Somebody cut out.
Well, Rum must have cut out. He'll be back, I'm sure. What he's probably trying to say is he's probably looking at like a new IP, you know, like something that's a little different.
Oh yeah, without a doubt.
You know,
yeah, I mean, anything that's halfway decent is basically rehashed product.
Yeah, it's everything that we've grown up with, pretty much. I mean, honestly,
yeah, exactly.
I mean, all the kids these days are just like they're just playing with things that we played with as children, but a newer, souped-up version of it. You know,
right.
Like they look better. I mean, hands down, the Black Series is fucking incredible. I mean, they're beautiful.
Yeah.
But do I think they're going to be as collectible as what we had? No.
No, yeah, I definitely agree. I mean, there's just, you can't get away from the heyday of the 80s. I mean, yeah, it's unprecedented.
And also, I believe it's like it's now, I think it's such a watered down thing. You know, now everybody it's a cool thing to collect toys or collect something. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and a lot of that stuff is sold as collectible. And
correct.
Whenever that happens, I mean,
it's not worth a shit.
Right.
Yeah. It's like, ooh, here's the new collectible thing. No, that's not collectible. You know what's going to be collectible? It's going to be the one figure that nobody fucking wanted. Yeah. You know, that's going to be the one that's everybody's going to go ape shit over. And it's probably like for Star Wars, it was probably going to be like some, Bespin guard or something. You know, like nobody wants that.
Like the Zuvio guy that was a peg warmer that nobody wanted.
Right. Now everybody's killing for it, right?
Yeah,
and I've seen that in a lot of things, though, man. You know, a lot of collectible things. You know, like I've heard, like, in comic books were the same way. There was like a comic that nobody wanted, and now everybody's hunting it because it's that one issue. You know, I'm like, oh, come on, guys. Yeah. You know, it's unbelievable, man.
Yeah, I mean, they kind of started that in the 90s, right? I mean, they branded it as, collect them all, and then kind of the whole Beanie Baby fad,
right.
So from there on, cascaded.
It went from the the Beanie Baby thing just blew up mom and pops, like grandmothers were collecting then. It's like, holy shit, something everybody wants.
Hey, I'm back.
Hey, there he is. Yeah, I kind of went with what you were saying, Rum. I kind of understood what you meant. Like, there's nothing like a new type, new brand or IP or something like that that's gonna be like as memorable as what we play with,
Yeah, because you see a lot of reissuing and rebranding of the same stuff, and it's just so bizarre to me that. And then I don't see anything that I would think my kid. I mean, a lot of people like the pops.
I love those.
I
collect the fuck out of them. Yeah,
but for the most part, I don't see. I mean, I don't know. I had a gigantic. Do you remember the big metal Voltron?
Of course.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that was I still have it. I love that thing. I mean, I don't have a lot of my toys from being a kid, but I have that sucker. And that weighs like good 10 pounds.
Oh yeah.
Heavy toy for a kid.
Well, what I liked about the toys too, when we were growing up, they were actually made out of substantial material.
Yes, like car parts and shit.
Yeah. Like when you got a Tonka truck, it was a metal truck.
Right, and it rusted. It was okay to play with it.
Right, now you get a Tonka truck and it's plastic.
Because apparently most kids are stupid now, and they.
Well, we all knew that.
I mean, nowadays you'd have to go get a tetanus shot.
Yeah. You're right. Yeah, and everybody's got to get a shot. You can't eat the side of your truck because of the the chipping paint that was
Yeah.
actually
Yeah.
lead paint. That's
Hey,
why-
I ate a lot of lead paint as a kid, and I turned out fine.
right. That's why you have that little tick.
Yeah. And but you said GI Joe though. What? It was just. I always liked GI Joe. I thought they were always cool. The big ones. I remember the gigantic ones that I think my dad had some of those.
The
Yeah,
12
the
inch.
12 inch.
Yeah, those were cool. But I had a few of the regular ones. Like my favorite GI Joe, I think, was Wild Bill in the helicopter.
Yes.
Yep.
Yep.
With the dragonfly.
Yep, that was my thing. It had the little button on the side. You had to keep moving your thumb to make the propeller go.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, that sucker was badass.
I used to like which ones were mine? My favorite vehicle, which I actually owned for a long time, still in the box, and I sold it within like the last couple years because I was in money issues. But I had what is it? The fucking, oh god, I can't think of it. Not the Hiss, that's the tank.
Was it a Cobra thing?
Yeah, it was a Cobra. It was the blue fucking
The
jet.
blue fucking.
The blue
Oh,
jet.
that's
The
an
boat?
awful toy to have.
What is
Talking
it?
about the boat? Talking about the boat?
No, it was a jet. It was
Oh, the Rattler. Yeah.
yes. I had a box Rattler for a long time.
Nice.
And I sold it because, like I said, we were in money issues and it got desperate. So I was like, well, fuck, I know I can get some money for this guy. So I got rid of him. But that is my all-time favorite Cobra vehicle besides the Hiss was that.
Well, how many years have you been doing the convention now?
Well, we started in October of 16, and we do it every 6 months.
Oh wow. Well, that's very cool.
See, Rum, it might have been that one that you went to.
It might have been. I went to a convention. I think it was in 2017. That, God, I don't know. It might have been in Covington. I don't. It was in a beige building. I just remember it was a beige building, and there was. It was a lot of comic books. There were a lot of artists doing drawings. There was hot dogs for sale inside. There was a cosplay thing going on.
Well, I don't think we've ever had hot dogs for sale, so I don't think that's us.
Okay.
Oh, there you go.
All right.
All right. That
Well,
narrows it out.
And we are the only show that's been in Covington that I know of.
Sweet. Okay. It probably wasn't. I was probably drinking and Adam just dropped me off somewhere.
That's
I have
true.
no
That
idea
could have been
where
it
it's
too. Who knows?
Adam's like, hey, Rum's in town. Let's drop him off here. There's people. Yeah, it's
You'll
all right.
like this.
It'll be
This will be fun.
fine. Hey, go talk to strangers. Eat some candy from Vance. It's okay.
That's it.
So your next show, tell everybody when it is. I mean, I
Our
know
next
it.
show is going to be April 27th, so at the end of the next month. It's on a Saturday. It's from 10:30 to 5 o'clock.
Sweet. Now, are you? Here's something I was curious about. Are you seeing more and more people coming to the shows? I mean, is collecting? It used to be a really niche market. That type of collecting.
Yeah, it really was. And what we've seen, really, in all honesty, is the MCU is kind of made being a nerd cool again.
Okay.
And with all the new Star Wars movies, so you're seeing a lot of people kind of hit that nostalgia point where okay, they've been in the workforce, they have a little money, they can go back and start collecting something that they grew up with, like G.I. Joe or Star Wars or He-Man or whatever it may be. And the Transformer movies kind of contributed to that as well, right? So they're seeing all this stuff on the big screen, and then they have actual stuff coming out in stores where you can go back and buy it again. So yeah, we have seen steady growth, especially with the show, as more people learn about it. And yeah, for sure. I mean, you're getting more and more collectors coming every time.
That's great about collecting too, because it's not just stuff that you like. I think, for at least for me anyway, it was always the thrill of the hunt to try to find that one thing.
Oh yeah, 100%, dude.
I mean, you could go out and buy just everything Star Wars, but then you get into the true collecting. Like, I want the Yoda with the orange cane, you know, or
right.
That sort of stuff. That's where the money comes into, because that type of stuff is hard to find, and people will pay for something to complete the vision that they have for their collection, which is just an amazing thing. That's so cool.
Believe me. Look, dude, I used to do that all the time. Like when the Star Wars in the 90s hit, and they were doing all the fucking like long sabers and short sabers and all that shit, and the red card, the green card, hollow card, this card, suck my card, all that shit. I did all that, man. I did tons of that. And then I was, would help other. You have a vendor there for, I think it's New Orleans toy shop. That's Mark.
Mark.
Yeah.
Yep.
Me and Mark go back a long ways, man. We used to collect together, and he also used to be in a band with me. And like he's the one who got me into fucking collecting Hot Wheels for a long time. This son of a bitch was like, "Hey, man, if you go to the store and you happen to see this car, would you pick it up for me?" I said, "Yeah, sure."
Yep.
So I go pick him up a car or two, and I'm going, you know what? That's a fucking cool. All right, so I'd be fucking spending like $100 on Hot Wheel cars. I'm like, what the fuck am I doing?
You can do it quick too. You can find something that just sparks your interest, and
dude,
then you just obsess about it, and then you're like, you can't stop.
It's my drug. Like it really is. Like if I go in, I know me. If I go into a store, I'm like,
it takes time and patience. I used to collect. I was a card collector, baseball, football, hockey. Yeah. I was that guy. But it was more than just collecting. I mean, I had a system. It was all. I had books and books of just what I had, how many of this I have, the values per month, what I expected. It was like a stock portfolio for baseball cards.
Yeah.
And I thought I was crazy, and then I went and met some other people. These guys took it to another level. They had databases, spreadsheets, PowerPoints. I'm like, what the hell?
You're like, what is a database?
And I took a step back. I was like, whoa, I can't, because when I stopped collecting, I had almost 300,000 cards.
Holy shit, dude, that's a lot. Man.
That's a lot of cards. And then got to the point where,
money.
What do I do with them? So I kept quite a few, the old ones and stuff like that I have, and some of the rare ones I know of. But I started selling off the total sets and some of the weird cards and all that other stuff. But I got really out of the box. I started collecting those. Remember the heavy metal, the band cards?
Oh yeah, I remember the band cards. Those were fucking cool.
Different metal bands had cards, and I was just all over those, and was like, oh my gosh, dude, I can't stop.
I even have Desert Storm cards.
Yeah, I got tons of Desert Storm cards. I got the whole set. I had 2 sets of Desert Storm cards.
Why did they come up with Desert Storm cards, man?
Because it was the first real televised war, and they thought, well, we can make some more money on this shit.
Yep.
That's all it was.
We actually found 2 or 3 packs of Desert Storm playing cards.
Wow.
Oh yeah,
in a lot of stuff that we bought a while back.
Nice. That's the ones with like Saddam Hussein and stuff on it.
Yeah.
Those are fucking cool.
Yeah.
I have serial killer trading cards. I do have some of those.
I wasn't aware they made those.
Really? No, they made 3 series.
That's a new one.
The first series is extremely hard to find because it has like most of the heavyweights like Dahmer, Gacy, Manson, all the big names,
all the boys in the band.
Yeah, all the boy band. But then the later ones like series 2 and 3 are like the odd men out, like the ones from like the 1800s, like the Axeman from New Orleans is one of them, and just different things like that. And it's just really bizarre. I think I have an Eileen Wuornos card, which is pretty funny.
The Chinchilla Strangler.
Right, yeah. You get like all these weird ones, and like they have like a history on the back of who they are and what they did.
It's kind of a weird, macabre thing to have, Wayne. Just have serial killer cards.
I have serial killer books too, man. So what?
Yeah, it's just really kind of weird.
Oh, okay. It's weird. Okay, Rum. All right. I see how it is. Fuck.
Yeah. Well, maybe it's time someone told you it's a fucking weird collection you
Fuck
have.
you.
Serial killer shit.
I have Jeffrey Dahmer versus Jesus comic book, so I don't want to hear that either.
Well, there's one you're not going to find very often.
And you're right. It's very hard. It's very, very hard to find.
Yeah. I'm so sorry about this, Ben.
Hey, no worries.
Well, hey, look, he needs to know these things. He runs a collector's market. He's got to know.
You never know what you're gonna find. That's kind of one of the cool things about doing it. Yeah, you have vendors that are frequent in that they're there pretty much every show, and then you have vendors that they come once or twice, and you have no clue what they're bringing. I mean,
do you ever see the people that come in and they're not avid collectors, they just have stuff, and they walk up and go, is any of this worth anything? And you're like, and have you ever seen like that one thing? You're like, holy shit, he's got that.
And it's remarkable about how some vendors just have the luck where the person goes straight to them, and they've walked by 20 other different vendors, and they just and they keep on getting them. So, but yeah, we've seen some pretty crazy stuff. We've got one vendor. I mean, he had a guy come in with a short box of comics and basically just left it with him, and it has the first appearance of Spider-Man with it.
Holy shit!
Yeah, which is like $12,000 to $15,000 comic.
That's insane, dude.
Yeah. So, and that actually wasn't at the show. That was at his shop. But that's just kind of this, some of the stuff where, they're coming in with that kind of stuff, and it's some pretty cool stuff.
It's interesting what people don't realize that what they have.
Yeah, and I mean, you see that kind of getting less and less with the prominence of the internet, where people can just go into Google and type in whatever. But it still does happen.
Well, now
Google.
There's a serial killer market, so I'd get out there and start buying up all that serial killer stuff.
Dude, there is a serial killer market. It's really bizarre, but there is there's actually sites where you can go and buy.
Yeah, you haven't got red flagged at all, Wayne. I can tell you that.
Oh
Right?
no,
not at all. Yeah, we like to keep a family atmosphere.
Sure.
So,
I'm just saying. The man said that. I'm just filling in the blanks here. I know there's markets out there for this kind of stuff. It's called murderbelia.
I don't know if that's a thing.
It really is.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh. That's interesting.
Yeah. If you ever look, I'm serious. I'm not saying sell the stuff. I'm just saying go look it up if you don't believe me. It's called murderbelia. We can buy like letters that the serial killers and shit have sent to people, and you can buy signatures and paintings, and it gets more macabre than that. If you got enough money, you can buy pretty much anything.
Yeah. I just know.
I mean, they were selling the big blue barrel that Jeffrey Dahmer had in his house with the body in it. So.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, it could make a nice coffee table.
But who the fuck would want to buy that?
I don't know. You got some shit to put in it.
There's a dead person in there, dude. Or a few of them. Floating torsos inside this bottle, this thing.
Well,
and how did they get it? That's what I want to know. Wasn't it like evidence? What the fuck?
Well, at one point in time after those cases, some of that evidence is supposed to get destroyed.
Right.
And somebody apparently...
There's money in this shit.
Yeah. That's how a lot of that stuff happens. Like sometimes you go to the conventions like yours and you'll see stuff that says probably for promotional use only.
Right.
Or, and those are the stuff like, whoa, that wasn't even released and you've got one of those, and that's basically the same thing. Just, there was a body of dad. I was supposed to throw it out, but I'm going to put it in my house and... because that's really cool and it smells funny and it's all right because I'm in murderbelia.
Murderbelia, man, I'm telling you, it's a real thing. I ain't lying.
All right,
I'll take your word for it.
Yeah, I'm just not gonna Google it. I can tell you that.
Talking about things that smell funny. Let's take a pause here, and we're gonna welcome our first segment of the night. It's going to be the segment of the sports segment with Mr. Rusty. Smell bad. Get it, Rusty? Sports.
Oh, yeah. Funny.
Oh, whatever. Fuck off. It's a sports segment. It's whatever. So anyway, guys, here's Wacky World of Sports with the big one, Rusty himself.
Rusty.
Spanning the globe to bring you the constant variety of sport, the thrill of victory, and the agony of defeat.
Hi, everybody!
Oh, false start. That's 7 points removed for Gryffindor.
And a surprise finger in the...
Flippy 1, Flippy 2, Flippy 3, aerial spready, Flippy 4, descending spready, bouncing Jack in a box spready, Sonya Blade high kick, roly poly, Jackie Chan bullshit.
Ladies and gentlemen, can I please have your attention? I've just been handed an urgent and horrifying news story. And I need all of you to stop what you're doing and listen.
All right, grab your socks and hold your jocks. It's Sports Talk with the big man himself, Rusty. Yeah.
Hello there, boys and girls. It's your old buddy Big One coming back at you today. I found something fun that I think you'll enjoy, and I definitely know that the Rum Guy will enjoy. This isn't going to be a real long sports report, but it's something that I felt like I wanted to do because I kind of enjoy it too. We're going to talk about dog agility competitions. Dog agility competitions. I'm sure you lovely folks have been flipping around the TV back and forth, and from time to time you see these little black and white dogs running around shooting through tubes and things like that. So I'm going to tell you a little bit about it, and that way maybe you'll understand a little bit more. And from my perspective, honestly and truthfully, I like animals, pretty much all animals, better than I like most people. So this subject intrigues me also. Okay, so dog agility drills. Apparently, all of this started in the 1970s in the UK. I know what you people are thinking. UK again. Yeah, UK again. They start a lot of stuff over there. Hey, they started the United States. Of course, it was their colonies, but whatever. We turned out fine. Well, kind of fine. Anyway, dog agility drills started in the 1970s in the UK. Apparently what they used to do is, I'm sure you've seen the equestrian events on the Olympics and things like that, where horses jump over bars and, ditches, and they got to jump over the bar and in the water, and it's really funny when the horse stops and the guy falls off the horse into the water. It makes me laugh. But apparently during these equestrian events, in between horse runs, and I guess if they have a halftime, I don't know if they have a halftime, I've never watched it long enough, and things like that, they used to run dogs on the course to entertain the people who were there to watch the equestrian events. And apparently the people who were there watching the equestrian events loved it so much that it blossomed into where it is today. Of course, the course for dogs and the course for horses is going to be modified because dogs aren't as big as horses unless you got one of the damn Scooby-Doo dogs, and that son bitch is a horse anyway. But, yeah, I mean, according to what I found, back when it started, the dogs used to run the same course as the horse did. I'm assuming they changed some of the jumps and things so dogs could make it over it. I don't know for sure. I didn't do all that much research on it, to be honest with you. But yeah, so, okay, there's a dog and there's a handler. The handler must guide his dog around the course with just using voice commands. The handler is not allowed to touch anything. He can't touch the dog. He can't touch the obstacle. So basically, the dog and the owner have to have a really strong bond because the dog has to listen to everything his handler says without taking any visual clues. So a handler has to say over, under, through, stuff like that. The dog has to understand what he's saying. So the human and the dog have to work very closely together to build this bond to where the dog understands what he's supposed to do and does it to the best of his ability. From what I've seen in watching it, and I watched a couple videos on YouTube getting ready for this segment, it looks like the dogs have a whole lot of fun doing it. And I don't know if it's just because dogs are really, really happy by nature, unless it's a Sarah McLachlan commercial. But it looks like they have a whole lot of fun doing these events. And then when the dog is finished running his course and they get his time and all of that, usually the handler gives him a treat. So, that's a little bonus for the dog. So the dog knows, hey, if I do a good job, I'm going to get a treat. A little incentive. Everybody works harder with a little incentive. I know my wife, Mrs. Big One, who is not big at all, she works at a specialty veterinary practice, and they actually they actually did surgery at one point on a dog who was an agility dog who was actually crippled on his back end. He couldn't use his back legs. So they built a special dog wheelchair for this dog so he could still run the agility courses and stuff and do everything that he needed to do his agility. And apparently he was really, really good at it. I'm sorry, I don't remember the name of the dog. If I find out, I'll update this particular sports report so you can, Google it or whatever and see that I'm not making this shit up, which I'm not, but, people like to fact check. Anyway, so I thought that was really cool because they also have where handicapped dogs can do it, which I think is really, really neat. I know Rum Guy's dog is doing agility classes in North Carolina where they live, and from everything Rum has told me, his dog Nikolai really, really loves doing the agility, so I wanted to do this sports report for him so he could hear, a little bit of the background. I don't know if he knew it or not, and I wanted to let him know that, I really enjoy that sort of thing also. So I know this is going to be close to his heart. Maybe some of you people really like this. That's about all I could find or all I cared to find on dog agility. It's pretty basic. Dogs run around tracks and through obstacles and through this big tube that looks like a dryer hose, that kind of stuff. But I just wanted to give you a small piece of background and let you know that, what I found, and you're more than welcome to go look at it a little bit more on yourself and grow as a person and love animals as much as I do. And, realize that people suck. So that's about all I got for you folks today. Please stay tuned. There will be more, and I promise I will go back to the bashing on sports that I find segments very soon. But I wanted to get this one out of the way so that, like I said, Rum Guy would hear it and get a little background and things like that. So, all right, folks, hope you all have a good evening, and I will talk to you later. Bye-bye.
He's at the 30. He's bare-chested. The guy is drunk. They got him.
I don't know how to put this, but kind of a big deal. People know me.
Yeah, we do, because you're Rusty, a.k.a. the Big One. Join us next time when he dives into the weird and wacky world of sports just for you. An MHOG Sports exclusive. All rights reserved. If anybody fucks with this, they'll probably kick your ass.
Really, you fucker. Anyway, that was our sports segment with the Rusty. The Rusty. He is the Rusty. The Rusty.
Yeah, the big one, Rusty. Yeah.
No, it's the Rusty big one. He's the Rusty big one. Yeah.
Oh, it's fun with Scrabble.
Oh, yeah. So anyway, Ben, how's your day?
It's going good.
I bet you really, really didn't think you were going to be talking about, serial killers and all kind of other stuff.
I actually have a question for you about your convention and stuff. Where has it hasn't always been in the same location, has it? Or
it has. It's been at the Clarion, since the beginning.
Oh wow. Okay, so you just went right out the gun. Hey, we're going to a hotel. We're going to a convention room.
Well, I mean, we did quite a bit of research on it. We visited a lot of venues. The Clarion, it's got the biggest meeting space, not necessarily all in one room, but other than something like the Harbor Center or the Castine Center down here in St. Tammany, those are really the only two other options. And at the time, they were way too expensive for us. And the Casting Center is still too expensive for us. And it's in the middle of nowhere. So we have stayed at the Clarion, but we have gradually pretty much taken over the entire hotel. We're now up to about 15,000 square feet that we're using.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah. So 2 different ballrooms. We take over their entire lobby, 2 different conference rooms they do. And then we also take over the in-house restaurant. So, yeah.
Well, they're loving it. I can tell you that.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
That's great. I wouldn't know how to start a convention or do. I'd probably just go, hey, I got a garage.
Well, I mean, to be honest, we didn't have a clue either. And, sometimes I think we still don't. But it just kind of started where we like I said, we started vending at a little sports card show in Metairie, and we went to a comic convention somewhere else in the state, and we couldn't find a comic book, so we're like, well, I mean, maybe we could do this and actually have stuff there that we want, and that's what we did.
That's great.
That's really awesome, dude.
Yeah, I mean, really, the reason we do this is so that I can go around and shop. I mean, that's
the main. That's all that matters.
Why go out when you can bring them to they just come to you now?
That's it. That's exactly it.
Mountain to Muhammad type of thing.
To my wife's very, very angry face sometimes. Yes.
You got a lot of stuff at the house, don't you?
Just a little bit, yeah. Yeah. We have a whole room. One of the guest bedrooms. I mean, technically it is a guest bedroom because there's a bed in it, but that's about the only thing that actually should be in a guest bedroom. Everything else, G.I. Joes and comic books and Star Wars and all that.
Do you have kids by chance?
No.
Oh my god.
Which makes it easier.
Yeah, I was gonna say that really does. I'm going. This man's got a lot of disposable income for having kids.
Yeah.
Wow, that's good. Well, it's cool because it's like you're the kids again.
Exactly.
You can go and are you weird about your own stuff? Is she like, don't touch that? Let's keep it in the box.
Well, I'm mainly both of us. We're really more of loose figure collectors. When she buys stuff that's in the box, like the Black Series stuff, she takes a lot of that out and displays it.
Awesome.
My position on the box stuff is I buy it if it's cheap enough. Otherwise, I pretty much stay away from it.
Cool. Is someone frying an egg?
I was thinking the same thing.
She's running water and draining coffee.
Okay.
Close.
I felt it was dinner time. I just didn't know what it was.
I was like, man, fried eggs sound great about right now.
Well, at least you still got room to cook, or you got stuff in the kitchen too?
It's not in the kitchen. It's right next to the kitchen. But yeah, there's stuff in here. I mean, we also run a booth. So while myself and most of our team are out running the actual convention, my wife and one of our friends runs our booth.
Oh, nice. Cool.
So, yeah, so we have to, we have a bunch of stuff to price still. So that's, that's sitting here right next to
your organizational skills must be amazing then. I mean, that's a lot to handle with everybody else's stuff, your stuff.
Yeah, I tend to be, at least I'm told, a control freak. So, I mean, it kind of works.
Is she nodding right now?
Yes. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, figured as much.
Yeah.
That's what wives do.
Yes. They just nod. Yeah.
I mean, she's one of the ones that tells me. So
Oh, all right. Yeah. Well, there you go.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So, and we actually have a team now of about 13 people that help us.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So it grew from just me and her to the next the second convention. We figured out that I actually can't stay at the table and also run the convention at the same time. Mm-hmm. So yeah, surprise, surprise. So we got a friend of ours to help her at the table, and then it kind of went from there.
Is it a type of event that you feel you need security?
We haven't needed security to this date, but with the numbers that we're beginning to pull in, we actually will have a sheriff's deputy detail there.
That's cool.
Yeah, I mean, we're getting to the point where we've got almost 2,000 people coming through the door. So
right, you guys are growing pretty big, and it's really awesome.
Yeah. There's nothing messier than a nerd fight.
That's very true, but it's also relatively easy to break up.
Yes.
Typically, at least.
just have a cosplay girl walk in, and that's it. It's done. They'll just stop.
That's it.
Yep. But just show a little ankle. It's over.
Oh, gee, this is his ankle. Sorry.
No, No, I was just curious about that because you're running that sort of event and stuff, and it sounds like you've been extremely fortunate. I was just curious if there had been any types of theft.
Well,
or anything like that.
we have had some safeguards in place. One of our vendors is a Louisiana State Trooper out of Baton Rouge, so he's been kind of our if anything actually happens, come help us out type of thing. Nice. And then of course some of our staff members, they'll double as security as needed. But like I said, we haven't really had the need. And also theft has been pretty much a non-issue as well. So
that's good. That's good. At least sounds like you've got an honest convention going on right now. So that's
to this point,
nice.
Yeah.
That's
but
good.
I know when the larger they get, though, the harder it's going to be to control.
Sure,
yes, very true.
You should Wayne. You should, if you're going to go, and you should go and do just don't so much film the convention, but maybe film some people, and we can stick it up on the YouTube channel or something.
Oh, of course, yeah, man.
That'd be great.
You know I will.
Do a little thing like that.
There's nothing better than people watching at a comic convention.
Oh, 100%. 100%, man.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, I mean, one of the best conventions I've ever gone to, and I've always said this, and I don't know if you've ever been to it, is Texas Frightmare. Have you ever been there?
No, I have not.
Man, that is it to me. It is probably it's the most premier horror convention in around. You know what I mean? They always get the biggest guests and the coolest ones over there. Yeah. But one reason I'm bringing this up is because I saw that you guys have a guest, which is fucking awesome, dude. You guys have the voice of Scooby-Doo.
Yes, we do. Scott Ennis, he'll be there. He also voices Shaggy, which I did not know. But
really, I didn't know that either.
Yeah, and then he also voices, was it Scooby-Doo's cousin or something?
Scrappy.
I haven't watched Scooby-Doo lately, so
Scrappy-Doo's Scooby's nephew.
Yes, nephew.
Scooby, that's what it is. I knew it was some sort of relation like that.
Ask him about if he can do Casey Kasem. How's your Casey Case?
You're a jerk.
Well, I'm just saying he should be pretty good at it. If he could do those other voices. I didn't realize he was the voice of the original voice of that stuff back in the day until later on. I was like, who the hell?
He took over for it in 1997, and this is actually the 50th anniversary of Scooby-Doo.
That's amazing.
Really, that's fucking cool, man.
Yeah.
God damn, Scooby-Doo's been around for 50 years.
Yes.
I know.
Incredible. And that's actually not the only guest we have.
Really?
We're bringing back John Anderson. He's been an actor in several MCU movies as well as a few other things, but most notably Guardians of the Galaxy. He was one of the Ravagers.
Nice.
And then he was also in Stranger Things season 2. And then he's been in a couple other things like Spider-Man: Homecoming and Black Panther and different things like that.
Damn, that's
so he'll
cool.
be there, and then we're also announcing another guest that I got to keep under my hat for now, but we'll be announcing that hopefully in the next week or so.
Sweet, dude. Cool. Yeah, that's awesome, man.
I think that stuff's cool.
Fucking super cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did you?
Go ahead.
How did you get them to come to the convention? Just call them up and say, hey, man, do you want to?
Well, John Anderson, we actually saw him at a convention over in Mobile, Alabama, and we had just started talking. And he's actually a G.I. Joe collector, which is really what got the conversation going. And we just asked him if he'd be interested in coming over to ours, and he said yeah, and that kind of went from there. And so we've had him in already. He was here last April, so this will be his second time coming. And then Scott, he's actually in Baton Rouge.
Nice.
We saw him at another convention just a couple of weeks ago, and we're able to talk to him and get him on board.
Very, very cool.
That's super cool. How are you guys setting this stuff up? Is it just they're gonna have tables, or is it how the big guys do with the photo ops and all that shit?
Yeah, so we're not up to the big guys. We just don't have the space, honestly.
Right.
So they'll each have a table in our lobby area, which is pretty much the first thing right when you see when you come in. It'll be right there in Artist Alley.
Cool. That's awesome.
Yep.
Yeah, so everybody needs to go to this thing, okay? Everybody who's listening to us talk about dicks and all that other stuff, you have to go to this show.
This is a really cool convention just because even if you haven't gone to a convention like this, You're going to go there, and if you had any type of childhood, you're going to walk in there and go, "Oh my God, look at this." You're just going to get like I do. You're going to walk in there and see something on a table or look at a display and go, "Holy shit, I had that." Look, and then you're going to feel like crap because your mom sold it at the yard sale for 5 cents.
Right.
And you're like, I need to get this shit back. And it's like, I need to have that for no reason. Then all of a sudden it starts and spreads like a cancer. You can't stop it. You become an Uber collector just like that. But it's fun.
No one collects Ubers, okay? Nobody.
Dahmer would have collected an Uber. The driver
probably would have. Did you know he was an avid golfer?
No, I did not know that.
Yeah. Well, he had a whole lot of balls, didn't he?
No. He had a bag of balls next to his bed.
I knew you were going to do something like that, you silly bastard. Wow.
This is serial killer humor, you know what I'm saying? It's funny. It's funny.
Yeah.
No,
not really. No.
Speaking of silly ass humor and things, we got another segment. We're gonna pause here for a minute. This is our
Wire.
Yes, exactly. This is Pot Thoughts by our friend Wire. If you guys want anything, if you want to know anything about this marijuana, pot, any whatever you want to call it,
whatever's going on in the world of legal marijuana right now, this is the guy to
this
talk
is
to.
the dude, man. He knows his shit.
He knows his stuff, and it opened my mind. I didn't realize half of the stuff.
I'm like, I don't even do that stuff, and I didn't know what the fuck he's. I'm like, damn.
Maybe you should after this conversation.
Right. Fuck. Well, anyway, guys.
But anyway, everybody, this is Pot Thoughts.
Yeah.
It's time to sit down and get inspired by a man on the mic that we call Wire. Let's listen up and learn fast. It's Pot Thoughts, where we learn about that weed, that kush, that grass. Pot Thoughts. Wire.
Hello, MHOG family. Welcome to Pot Thoughts with Wire Dog, coming to you from the Ewok Nation of Humboldt County, where they give out bags of weed for Halloween. Pot Thoughts is brought to you by Ganja. Have you smoked some today? On this episode, it's flooding, and there's a chimp on the loose. And then we'll talk about the raid news. And in our pot history, cops get a Valley Town High. In our pot product review, we take a look at Care by Design lotion, and then we'll reveal the strain of the month. So here in Humboldt County, it's been raining for at least 3 months straight now, and the rivers cannot have any more water in them, so they've broken over their banks and have started to flood out a lot of the towns here. One guy even drowned trying to save 5 children. And there's also a chimpanzee in a diaper running around off the side of the freeway somewhere. So be on the lookout for a chimpanzee in a diaper. In other news, the National Guard is in town conducting raids on unpermitted grows. So if you are without your proper permits, you will get raided by the National Guard. A farm has already gotten raided, and they had confiscated 16,000 pounds of processed marijuana, and the cops didn't know what to do with that amount of weed, so they just buried it in a 6-foot ditch in the side of a mountain somewhere. This is not the first time cops have tried to destroy a massive amount of marijuana. There was a time where they had raided this small valley town, and they had raided multiple farms, and were helicoptering it to the beach, and they started burning it on the beach. Well, halfway through burning this, 2,000 pound confiscation, the wind had shifted, and it went into the valley and got the whole town high. So it ended up being a good day for everyone. Now for our pot product review is the Care by Design Cannabis Pain Cream. It has 150 milligrams of THC and 150 milligrams of CBD. And I've been using this pain cream for about a week now, and I can dramatically feel a reduction in my pain wherever I use it. Like my hands will hurt sometimes, and it's great for relieving the pain in my hands. It works on the back pain. This stuff is great. I would highly recommend it if you have a lot of back pain and you cannot smoke because of allergies or whatnot. This would be a good remedy. Next is our strain of the month is Royal Kush from Fresh Off the Hill Farms. It is a hybrid, and it is at 27% THC. And this stuff is really, really good. It's a really nice purple, kind of sweet taste. Really good, strong Kush smell. And it's really super stony. This stuff is so good I had to go get it again. So that is the strain of the month. Be sure to check out our Facebook page for this recipe of the month and pictures of the strain of the month and the product review. Back over to you, Wayne and Rum.
I like do the cha-cha.
Damn, that was so informative, man. Like, I didn't know what to think.
And you had to tell those bad jokes while we were off, too. And
I
that man's
did.
trying to, you're going to be eating pasta now, and you're telling him Jeffrey Dahmer
I
jokes.
know, right? But, I mean, isn't it true, though? Like,
I'm going to have to remember some of this.
See, they're good. They're funny.
Those are pretty good.
They're pretty fucking stupid, but they're funny.
That's the joke he tells his wife, and she just shakes her head.
Yeah, pretty much.
That's that joke. Yeah, that's what mine would do.
I mean, yeah. I mean, that's what all wives would do. Because once they get the wife card, they get not funny. They're like, I gotta put up with you, and you're gonna tell me this stupid shit. Well, it worked when I was just dating you.
Well, it seems to work great for Ben here and his one. At least they've got that in common with the collecting and everything.
I was gonna say serial killer jokes. What the fuck are you talking about?
No, I'm talking about collecting.
I just kind of got lost there for a minute. Rum was like,
it's called.
Jeffrey Dahmer works great for Ben. I'm
like,
what?
Pull it away. I'm pulling it away, and you just keep pushing and pushing and pushing. I'm pulling it away.
Don't pull it away. I'm like a dog with a bone, bitch. It's mine.
I know.
Sorry. Okay.
But anyway.
And back to Ben.
Well, Wayne, you do some collecting too.
I do a lot of collecting.
I mean, you had an stupid insane amount of pop vinyls, and you still do.
I still do have a lot. I sold.
Did you sell like 2?
I sold 1,500.
And he still has a house full.
Yeah, and I still have about, I don't know, probably about 300 or so. But I've really narrowed it down to like certain collections now. So I'm only doing like horror movies and like Masters of the Universe.
Oh, I thought it was just the vinyl ones.
Yeah, smart ass.
I'm just collecting the vinyl ones in the cardboard boxes.
Yeah, I do mostly the horror movie stuff. I do some.
That's a valid collecting method. You know?
Yeah. I do some video games. My wife does Disney, and I have very few like Batman and odd and end ones that I thought were cool. But my majority is horror movie now.
I collect skulls.
And then we go back to the serial killer.
Well, not just like not like. I have a lot of skulls. I was just looking around my room. I apparently do it, and I don't even realize it.
Are you part of the Misfits?
Just in this room, I have a thing with glass skulls. I don't know what it is, but I love glass skulls. And I'm looking at this room. I have 15 in this room.
Are you like you're saying you're like the crystal skull guy, like Indiana Jones?
Maybe. I don't know. I have 15 glass skulls in this room.
I mean, glass is better than the alternative.
Yeah, but
Plastic?
I've actually taken the time to try to find, and I found some places I can buy real ones, but they want a lot of money for that.
They do actually. You can look up. There's a site called Skulls.
Thank you, Wayne.
Skulls Unlimited. The reason I know this is because of the way my line of work.
Was Skulls Are Us taken?
No, Skulls Unlimited is actually a place that you buy bones for teaching, or other things like that. You can buy them for collections if you want. They actually sell like full skeletal skeletons. You can buy fake ones or you can buy real ones. But we use them for work. Ben, I'm a vet tech, so like we buy like the skulls to show people the anatomy and what.
Is that the same type of stuff you could use to, like, if like part of a skull is missing or you need to do some reconstruction, you can use parts of these other bones and stuff to.
No, because that's
cadaver stuff.
Yeah, that's like actual medical. This is just stuff that they clean up. I've watched. There was actually an episode of Dirty Jobs. Remember that show? There's actually an episode of Dirty Jobs where they go to this place, Skulls Unlimited, and they show him, like, they do a entire whale skeleton.
Wow, that's insane.
It
That's
was
a big skeleton.
Dude, it was pretty fucking impressive. Like, they have like these big vats of these like these horrible beetles that eat everything. Like, they call them like flesh-eating beetles. I don't know what they are.
Yeah, I used to have some in school. We used to put them in the science lab.
We used to put them in our friends' ears.
No, but
sorry.
But that's pretty cool though.
Yeah,
you can do that stuff. But
it's a very neat.
The whole skull thing though, I don't know why. I just noticed this room I have a lot, and then I know I've got more, and they're everywhere. So I don't know. It's just a thing.
Yeah, I mean, I have a lot of other stuff that I collect besides pop vinyls, but.
Ooh, and you know what? It's kind of cool. Or with the you were talking about the whale skeleton and stuff. Do they use those gigantic 3D printers to make the stuff? You think?
Back then, they didn't. But I'm sure now they do. Because back then that was probably in.
It's like,
probably
Ben, you could start a black market GI Joe thing with. You could get a 3D printer, start making your own GI Joe guys.
They actually, I mean, they have a lot of people out there that kind of make the repro, make all the accessories and everything.
Oh, cool.
And they've made some really cool custom stuff. But I mean, you can do just about anything with a 3D printer.
What was that company you looked at, Wayne, before that you could turn yourself into an action figure? Remember, it was years ago.
Oh yeah, I don't remember. I cannot remember the name of it. But yeah, it was really cool. Like they actually, it's kind of like how NECA has the separate heads that you can switch onto the characters and things like that. This was like that. They made they took your face, did a 3D printing of your face, and then they put it on these almost like 6 to 8 inch dolls and dress it the way you want. But then your face, you can do 4 or 5 different faces, which was fucking phenomenal. But it was like $1,000. It was really, I mean, but it looked like you. Like it was, it wasn't like the 3D printers are, where it's kind of like that hazy look.
Yeah, if it wasn't so damn expensive, man, I would have got you an action figure of me.
I wouldn't doubt that, because I have like 6 pictures of you every year. I get a new one.
I send for Christmas. I like to send things with me on it.
Yeah. Last Christmas he sent us a throw, like a blanket. But it's a complete gigantic photo of him
that is pretty awesome.
With a beer,
drinking a beer.
Nice.
And so right when I opened it, my son was sleeping on the couch, so I just laid it on him and took a picture of it and sent it to him. Now it's in here in the office, up against the wall. Like it covers almost half a wall. So I just put it up on the wall, and he holds the headphones. Like I have the headphones put on it. So Rum's always a part, no matter what. He's here.
I sent T-shirts one year, but they were all different. I had it was me, like punching a teddy bear and me holding a rose and a shotgun.
Then you had me
all
eating
sorts of weird
something. Like the one you sent me was like me with my mouth open eating something, and you had your face somewhere looking up at me. I don't even. Well, you were shooting lightning bolts at me or something.
Oh, yeah, it was the wizard. Yeah.
Yeah, I was a big head eating something, and then all of a sudden there was like a little rum at the bottom shooting lightning bolts at me.
Yeah,
It was
you were
very
like,
funny. I still own that
yeah.
shirt actually.
And then I did the
Unfortunately,
inspirational poster one
I
year.
still have that too. And unfortunately,
Yeah.
I'm too damn fat to wear that shirt, but I would love to have it on me.
Well, you can save it. Maybe your son will wear it to school one day.
Oh, that'd be fucking hysterical. This is my uncle and my dad. They're idiots. Yeah, I can see that.
So I recommend, man, next Christmas, get your wife something with your photo on it. She'll appreciate it.
Yeah.
I might have to do that.
It's funny.
Look, what you ought to do
It's
is
absolutely
you
funny.
take a picture of like you sitting on the flag, no clothes on, but you put like a strategically placed like a G.I. Joe something in front of you. With you put like camo paint on your face and sparse splats, you know, and you just put your hands out like wide open like this.
Do you remember
Right.
Do you remember the nudie pens where you would tip the pen and
Yes.
the bikini would come off? They have those. They can do that with you now.
No way.
So I was like, that'd be funny. But if you had your hand covering something and you looked really surprised, and then all of a sudden your pants came off, and it was like, that's funny.
Jesus Christ.
Who knows? Yeah, I mean, this is stuff that people in 10 years, Ben, you're gonna see this stuff at your.
It's gonna be
convention, I'm telling you.
huge. It's gonna be huge.
We reserve the right to tell people no. So.
Damn it! There goes our
I mean,
booth.
It's a hot market, I'm telling you. I mean, get in now.
Yeah,
ground level.
I bet.
Well, I don't know what's happening, but the next one you guys set up, please hit me up early, because I would like to get a booth. Most likely, I'll probably get one from you guys, because I do have a lot of stuff that I need to unload, and I would also, if it's cool with y'all, I'll set up the podcast and do like tableside interviews with people as they walk by.
Yeah, that's fine with me.
Okay, cool. That'd be fun.
I think it'd be interesting. That way you get everybody's perspective, what's going on, and you never know who's going to walk in the door.
Like I can have a sign that says, "Tell Ben how you feel," and have the microphone set up, and they can tell you.
I think that's cool. Yeah.
It's
It's just add something, and then hey, who knows? Maybe we'll have those pens ready.
Yep. Everybody who says one nasty thing to Ben gets a pin. And we're gonna be like, "Shh! Don't tell him we gave you this."
Once I see it, I'm gonna know.
We're like, "Damn it!"
Yeah.
It's those assholes from MHOG.
It's amazing what you can get your image put on, though. It's hysterical.
Oh, dildos, all kind of things.
Yeah, that's not gonna happen.
Murderbelia.
Yeah. It's an interesting topic. I'll give you that, Wayne. I'll have to actually look into it.
Yeah, look, I'm serious, guys. Like, I'm not bullshitting. I'm not making that up. It really is a market called Murderbelia, and people fucking spend tons and tons of money on serial killer merchandise. Like just recently,
I just think it would pull in a strange crowd if you had that, though.
Right? Well, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I think we'd have to have security for that one.
A little bit.
Yeah, I mean, I've just never. They must have it. I mean, but I've never seen a convention that showcase that.
No, there's no convention that does that.
At least not one that's advertised.
Yeah. If they
until now.
Welcome to MHOG's Murderbelia. People are killing to get in. Sorry, that's a little wrong, I guess.
Keep coming.
Yeah, just like Jeffrey Dahmer.
Yeah, hey, old Jeffy.
Oh, Jeffrey.
Misunderstood.
Yeah. But anyway, guys, before we cut this off, Ben, would you like to tell these lovely people of ours where they can find your site and all the information if they want to look up, your stuff?
Yeah, for sure. So our website is sttammanycollectorscon.com. And then we're on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, all of those as well. Facebook is just at St. Tammany Collectors Con. And all of our announcements go through social media. So, vendor registration and VIP. We just opened up VIP a couple days ago. So all that's announced on our website and on our Facebook page. So that's us. You can shoot us messages that goes straight to me on our Facebook page, and you can buy VIP tickets on our website. You can register to be a vendor on our website as well. Whole deal.
Very cool.
Sweet. And so we here are going to have some big announcements coming soon to deal with the Fillmore guys. Ben, I don't know if you're familiar with the Fillmore. It's the music venue that opened up by Harrah's.
No, I'm not.
Yeah, it's a big concert venue that we are now associated with, and we have some big concert announcements coming up within the next couple weeks. I had some really good conversations today, so look out for that. We'll be giving away a massive concert ticket giveaway. It's coming soon. But anyway,
I think the next show come April 18th. I think
Chevelle. That's right. We can have. You probably heard the concert advertisement for the beginning of the show. That's where we played it.
Okay.
But yeah, Chevelle, April 8th, was it 18th, right?
18th.
Yeah, at the Fillmore. It's gonna be a really good show. So yeah, that's it. That's us. Thank you, Ben, for doing this show, man. We appreciate it.
Yeah, my pleasure.
And
it was fun.
Like I said, I'll see you on the 27th for sure.
Awesome.
And
I look forward to seeing some pictures.
You will. You'll get some, man. You'll get some.
Cool.
But anyway, I was your host, Wayne.
I'm the Rum Guy.
And remember, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, you don't have to only collect toys. You can collect murderbelia. Now, remember, ladies and gentlemen, to keep it metal!
Adieu, parting is such sweet sorrow.
Go ahead and run. Run home and cry to mama. Get the fuck out. Okay then. That's it.